All right. Welcome to my first ever live review. My name is TJ Green. I am, for this intent and purpose, known as the KingsGamer. I am streaming this because I have made the decision to stream my video games as the KingsGamer plays, and I decided to branch out a little bit. And what I want to do is I want to review each game that I beat as I beat it. Uh, so I will not do a review until I have officially just completely played through a game and at least finished it. Um, I do know that there are completionists out there, and that is awesome. There might be some games I might come back and review after if I wanted to go through the completionist route and see if maybe it might change my perspective or maybe my outlook. Uh, Now, today I've decided to grade my reviews on a very unique curve. Um, See, I am a huge fan of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Princess of Power franchises. Um, Not just Elvis Presley, as you can see in the background, because I am a tribute artist. Um, but I decided that there are so many different grading, curves out there. Like the best of 10, or score of 5, or finish it, play it, complete it. Um, and I want to do something unique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grade it on a curve of, does it deserve the Prince Adam pardon? Does it get to go through and get played again and again and again, at least as many times as I would want to go and replay this? Or is it a Snake Mountain mix-up or Snake Mountain mess-up? And does it have way too many flaws for me to want to continue playing any further? So at the end of this review, I will grade on that curve. So if it's decent, and I will replay it no matter how many extra times, it will get the Prince Adam pardon. But if it's got way too many disastrous flaws to get any further consideration, well then, it's a Snake Mountain mess up. So hopefully you will stick around through the review. Now, this is live, ladies and gentlemen. So as I'm reviewing this live, there could be comments in the chat, and I do welcome them, because if you are a new gamer, I would love for you to be able to possibly get an idea of what's to come. And if you do choose this game, you'll know what you're in for, and you'll at least know my personal opinion on the title in question. It's just that too. It's not like I'm not speaking for all gamers, like all gamers should do this. It's just my personal opinion, and you can take that for what it is, or you can say, hey, you bring up some good points, let's see where things go, and you could very well have a much more fun experience than I had. So with that being said, today's review is of Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid Saga continues. Now, for those who may not be aware, and there could be folks who aren't, Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid Saga continues is a tie-in. Now, tie-ins are usually video games that are based off of an IP or independent property that already is like well established. So say like the Spider-Man movies, there have been plenty of games that have tied into that, or the Fast and Furious franchise, there's at least a couple games that tie into that. This game is one of those. It's no exception. And it is meant to be a kind of I wouldn't call filler between the events of the first two seasons and the upcoming third season. That, if I remember correctly, will be airing sometime in January on Netflix. Now, this originally was on YouTube Red, or YouTube Premium as it's now known. And my wife and I watched the series. We both loved it because we have been huge fans of the original Karate Kid trilogy of movies. I'm sorry, but next Karate Kid, while it's cute for its own thing, I don't really acknowledge it as part of the whole saga, even though it does have Miyagi in it. And, Pat Morita is always fantastic as Miyagi. But I was not really feeling that it tied into, the Daniel Miyagi storyline as the three movies that came before did it. That's a whole nother story. I could probably review those by themselves at some point. Maybe do just myself, TJ Green reviews, like movies and TV. If any of my subscribers here end up watching this and would like me to do the TJ Green reviews for, the movies and TV, leave that in the comment section below. I know there's going to be folks who will hopefully tune in, see this as it's being aired, or such, that are not subscribers. And I hope today is when you decide, hey, let's join and see what else can happen. I do video game let's play streams as often as I'm able to do so, and I play a whole variety of games. Right now, I'm currently playing Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. That might be the next one I decide to stream at some point. But that's a whole nother story. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty of Cobra Kai. The Karate Kid saga continues. So we're going to start with the voice acting. Now, the voice acting is for tie-in, not horrible. You have at least 4 that I can pinpoint already of the Cobra Kai actors who have made their contributions to this. You do have Ralph Macchio, you do have William Zabka, and you do have the young actors who played Dimitri and Hawk. So it's nice that they did bring those characters in for this tie-in. It's for legitimacy purposes, it's good. But do I wish the entirety of the cast could have put their voices in? I'm going to say yes. I'm not particularly fond of the voice acting for the other characters like Robbie or Daniel's daughter Sam, or Tori, So, and I'll get into the gameplay in a moment, but I just felt that this voice acting was 50-50. I liked various parts of it, and I definitely disliked various parts of it. I mean, I don't want to say they did horrible jobs, but these characters are already well established for 2 seasons. Some of them have been in both seasons. Some were introduced in season 2 that were just so epic they had to make the game. So it's hard because you see these people in these episodes, you get to know them. So when somebody else voices them for a video game, it can be make or break. So believe me when I say, when I make my grading curve later, voice acting is definitely going to play a part. Now let's go gameplay. This is more of your side-scrolling beat 'em up. It is very reminiscent of Double Dragon, or when the 360 hit, Double Dragon Neon. It has River City Ransom parts to it as well. Maybe Streets of Rage, if you folks have played that. So you haven't really seen side-scrolling beat 'em ups in a long time, especially with the modern age of open world exploration, massive open world. So that's something you definitely take into account for sure. Now, is it bad? No, it's not bad. I think it's redundant. I think they took some artistic liberties, like they gave each of the characters you play as in this magic powers, like ice-based attacks, fire-based attacks, which I thought was unnecessary. I mean, it's not what the original series did. There was no fantastical powers. There was no uh, there was just nothing mystical ish about Cobra Kai. So it was off putting, but was it a deal breaker? No, because you get to play as a total of, I would say, 8 characters: Daniel, Johnny, Dimitri, Sam, 10, I believe. 10. I just had to think of that. Daniel, Johnny, Dimitri, Sam, Robbie, Hawk, Miguel, and Tori. So you do get to play as a wide variety of various characters. And their various attacks are rapid fire, ground and pound. They do have a successful variation, which is good to that extent. Some of the ice and fire powers are the same, but some of their other move sets are very distinctive and different. Um, the Daniel and Johnny obviously being the older mentors, they're going to have different, like maybe their attacks will go for reach or go for power. Whereas the youngsters, they will have like the more speed and the faster paced attacks. So they did balance that out in a good way. Now you go through and you will go through the Miyagi-Do storyline and or the Cobra Kai storyline. Now I go and or because you will have to choose to go through whichever storyline you didn't choose the first time around again. So, for example, if you say Miyagi-Do for your first run through, in order to fully defeat this game, you will have to play the Cobra Kai storyline full through. We do have our first comment, by the way, in the chat. Kim Grimsley says, "Good morning." Thank you. Good morning to you. Hopefully you enjoy the review. If you are even remotely close to a gamer and you're interested in this, throw some questions in there and I will try to answer them in the end of the review, which we're almost getting there. So thanks for bearing with it. Now, the variation is good. So the variation with the certain voice actors who did come back, also really good. Daniel and Johnny are the mentors, and you see that because they will narrate the various tutorials. You get to go to your respective dojos and level up. Kind of similar to an RPG, you have a skill tree. You will unlock certain things, and you will get to make certain branching choices in order to customize your characters as you feel would be very strategically put throughout in order to get to the final gauntlet match of this game. Now, I am torn on the fact that you have to play through this twice in order to beat it just once. But then again, you have games like Injustice, Gods Among Us, or in this case, Injustice 2, I believe, was the one to do that, where you have to go through and you play through it the first time, and you get the ending, and then you play through it the second time with the characters you didn't choose in that first playthrough, in order to get the true ending. Now, the story is Daniel and Johnny are going through their different quests. There's this map, and they're being kind of strung along. Both think the other did it. So Daniel thinks Johnny did it. Johnny thinks Daniel did it. And the thing is, neither of them were responsible for the events that this game will unfold. There is a puppet master behind the scenes. Now, I'm going to spoil this because it's already a spoiler as it is. If you've watched the Karate Kid trilogy, this isn't a surprise. It's not one of those what a twist moments. As much as they try to play it up to be, it's not. It's Kreese. Of course, it couldn't be anybody else. It's John Kreese. He's the main villain. He's the one, kind of pulling the strings of the events of this game. And when you beat both storylines, you will converge, and you will only get to play as Daniel and Johnny when you try to beat Kreese. Now, that is kind of brutal because you go from being able to play a total of almost 8 to 10 different characters to 2. And this guy is the Shao Kahn of this game. Like, he is so beefed up and he is so overpowered. And they built him up too to be like the kind of Mr. Freeze from Arkham City, where you do one set of attacks, and if you're not careful and you do those too many, Kreese learns those and he becomes immune to those, and you have to use other moves and other tactics. It is crazy making. And then the first time I attempted to beat this, I got him down. I finally had him no health. He regenerates a quarter of his health, and then these purple like clouds show up on the floor. And this is legit insane. And I didn't even tell you about the gauntlet match that happens at Valley Fest, because all of your mini bosses or sub bosses, they converge and you face them all one more time in the worst possible scenario before you even get to your rival. So if you play Miyagi-Do, you're going to face off with Johnny. If you play Cobra Kai, you're going to face off with Daniel. And then, so the story combined with the voice acting, combined with the gameplay, and the leveling up, what do I think of this? I think this is an enjoyable game. I don't think otherwise. I think it's worth playing. I think that if you are interested in just simple side-scrolling beat-em-ups with controls that you can adjust to easily, then you know what? My eventual rating may be for you. But there are glaring flaws, and they were noticeable, especially with two separate playthroughs of this. And with that, it was hard to make this rating because my personal opinion is this, and we're going to go into the grading curve now. I am giving it the Prince Adam pardon. Here's why. because it is fun. It is. It's exciting the first time around when you beat one of the storylines through. Now, I chose the Miyagi-Do storyline first because I'm more of a fan of Daniel, and I'm more of a fan of the actor who plays him, of course, Ralph Macchio, and so that storyline is what I really want, like the build up, the nostalgia. Like, what if they faced off one more time? Um, a lot of you who might be Karate Kid fans, such as myself, could choose Johnny just to see, okay, well, what could happen if Johnny ever won, which is awesome. Do it. Absolutely. But do I feel it was entirely necessary to make us play through both storylines in order to get through the end? No. Um, I did it, and so I'm not regretting I did it, but I just don't feel it was necessary. Um, if maybe there were uh, more voice actors, or should I say more real actors who contributed their voices to their characters from the original show, it probably would have made things a little easier on me to bear. Um, I think a lot of the different, vocals for the attacks were just too redundant, and it got annoying very quick, especially in the gauntlet match for Valley Fest. Um, do I think that the boss fight was actually gripping and challenging? Yes, it certainly was. And I was so happy for that, but I think that should have been the cake at the end of the one single playthrough. So I really did enjoy this game through its many, 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 many flaws. It's not like the Skyrim of games by any stretch, but is it worth playing? Yeah, it's very enjoyable. I don't recommend completionisting it, but who knows? Huge shout out by the way to Gerard, the completionist. I love his stuff. Um, I will be watching his channel because I do want to see if he has it in him to just 100% this game. Um, I don't have it in me to do that, but I'm glad I at least played through it once. And in time, I may play through it again when I need a little bit more Cobra Kai nostalgia, for whatever new season may be to come in some way, shape, or form in the future. So I hope you enjoy my KingsGamer review of Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid Saga continues. I hope you will at least pick it up, give it a chance, play through it. I would wait until it goes on some kind of a distributor deal on like the PlayStation Network or the Xbox Store or even the Switch. It is available for the Switch. Or I know several friends. Shout out to Joe Smith, who picked it up as part of the Black Friday deals at like the Target or the Walmart. So I would suggest waiting for it to drop down to at least $20 to $15, not the full 40 that it's being charged for currently. I probably wish at this point I had waited until then, but I did buy it at full price, and I'm not upset that I played it, but I am, in hindsight, thinking it was probably better just to get that as a discounted item. So thank you guys. You are the lifeblood of my channel, and I hope that you will continue to watch these things as I record them, and you'll see my journey through each new game that I happen to beat, whichever it happens to be. That's why I'm not doing a next time on the KingsGamer review, because I play so many different games at once, and it could be anything from Ghost of Tsushima to Melody of Memory to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I do Switch game reviews, Xbox game reviews, and PlayStation game reviews. So, as I beat these games for any of these systems, that's what because I love all video games, and I hope you do too. If you are lucky enough to have all, the systems, that's great. Please do. I might just even do, if I get the expansion for Pokemon, I think I have Sword digitally on my Switch. Um, I know currently I'm also playing Melody of Memory on the Switch, um, which is awesome. It's actually the hope of Kingdom Hearts, the whole franchise for the Switch, which I would get in a second if they ever did it. Um, so hope you will stay with me on this journey through each game that I beat. Please go and watch my other videos, my Elvis tribute videos as well. If you would like to join me when I stream my PlayStation stuff on YouTube live as I play it, that would be great. And we'll see you all on the next review. I am TJ, the KingsGamer Green, and I will see you all on the next adventure. Stay safe, be healthy, be happy.